Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Here is the 16th lecture of pericyclic chemistry, and today we shall continue studying cycloaddition reactions. However, today we are going to focus on 4n2 plus 2 pi electronic system. Let's have a look on the contents and the materials that we are going to see discuss today. First of all, we shall see that which kind of reactions fall into the category of 4n plus 2 pi electronic system, and then we shall talk about the cycloaddition of cations or anion, and then some real applications that are like noticed and are carried out in laboratory or industrial level. When we talk about 4n plus 2 pi electronic system, it means that we can vary. We already actually talked about this thing, that how we calculate the 4n pi plus 2 pi electronic system for cycloaddition reaction, because we know that for cycloaddition reactions we have two components here. So to calculate the total number of electrons, we sum of all the pi electrons involved in this cycloaddition, and then if this total number of pi electrons they fall into 4n plus 2 system, then we say that this is 4n plus 2 pi electronic system. If the numbers fall in 4n plus 2 4n pi electronic system, we categorize in that category. So we already know that if n is 0, then we get only 2 pi electrons, and there is another possibility for that if n is 1, then we have 6 electrons, and then the next when n is 2, then we get 10 electrons, and then after 10 we get 14 electrons. So it means we have a sequence of like pi electronic system. We get 2, 6, 10 and 14 electrons, and they can be higher pi electronic system. But according to this one, if we have 6 electronic system, it can be it is possible in case of 4 plus 2 cycloaddition, because here one component has 4 electron and the other one has 2 electrons. That is we are talking about pi electrons. So the total is 6 electronic system. So here is 4s plus 2 cycloaddition, and the other possible reaction is like 8 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, because 8 plus 2 cycloaddition, you can just remember it like that here goes 10 electrons in total. So if the sum makes up to the 4n plus 2 thing, then we make it we call it 8 plus 2 like 4n plus 2 pi electronic system. So 8 plus 2 cycloaddition also falls in this category. Then we talk about 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction, and then because they also make total sum 10, and then we talk about 12 plus 2 electronic system, because here n is 3, so total number of electrons they are 14. So here this cycloaddition reaction also falls into 4n plus 2 pi electronic system. And also there is a possibility of higher cycloaddition reactions too, but they are very rare. Even if you talk about 8 plus 2, 6 plus 4 or 12 plus 2, they are not as common as 4 plus 2 cycloaddition. 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reactions are rather very common, and they are extensively employed in you say organic synthesis, or industrially they are also used for the synthesis of many biologically important compounds. And we also know this reaction as Diels-Alder reaction, because in this case we have 4 pi electronic system components, the diene, and 1 is called the dienophile. Today we are going to focus on the examples of 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. From this reaction we are going to I'm going to quote the reference of each slide as a footnote, because as per your suggestion it is easier for you to follow this way. So you can easily see the name of the book and also the page number, so you can follow exactly that those books, that what's written in there, so it will be easy to for you to for a better understanding. Anyways, coming back to the topic, that is 4 plus 2 cycloaddition. So this is what we call Diels-Alder reaction. We have talked about Diels-Alder reaction, that they were discovered by they are named after their discoverers, and also the how the diene reacts with dienophile, Anyways, there are many variations that are possible in 4+2 cycloaddition reaction, because in here we talk about carbon carbon double bond, but instead of carbon, like in addition to carbon carbon double bond, there are also other possibilities. Like here we have nitrogen nitrogen double bond, there is a possibility that instead of double bond we have triple bond here, that is carbon carbon triple bond can participate. And apart from this thing, carbon oxygen double bond can also participate in this 4+2 cycloaddition reaction. Basically the main component or the main material that is required for 4+2 cycloaddition reaction, these are the pi electrons. So these pi electrons can be part of nitrogen heterocycle and carbon bond, or heterocycle and another heterocycle double bond or triple bond. Anyways, the first example written here is the reaction of one diene, that is diene here is cyclopentadiene. It reacts with the diazo compound. So this diazo compound, it acts as a dienophile. Here when we shall talk about 4+2 cycloaddition reactions in details in later in the next next lecture, so you shall see that the dienophile reacts better when they have electron withdrawing group attached to them. So this is a you can say that electron poor dienophile. So this dienophile reacts with the diene, and what happens that we get a product, that is in here we get a 6-membered ring. Basically the 6-membered ring is the one, if you go from one side, that has 2 nitrogens and the 2 bridge carbons, and the other 2 carbons are the carbon carbon doubly bonded carbon. So this is a 6-membered ring is formed, and if you see the bridge, there is one carbon that is bridge, and that one carbon is basically the sp3 hybridized carbon that was part of cyclopentadiene. Anyways, in this way 4+2 cycloaddition reaction was carried out through the cyclic movement of electrons. If we go to the second example, you can see that here we have another dienophile, and that dienophile again has the electron withdrawing group, that is the formyl group attached here. And this dienophile reacts with the you say that we have here this CH2 and CH, and then we have this formyl group attached. It means that it is acrylaldehyde. So in this case they react together and we get a 6-membered ring again. This is a heterocycle formation basically. In the next example we have carbon carbon triple bond, and that acts as a dienophile, and it reacts with the diene, and again we have a 6-membered ring is formed. One carbon carbon double bond is produced as a result of this Diels-Alder reaction, and the other carbon carbon double bond, it remains between the 2 carbon triply bonded carbons already in the reactant. So these were the cases where nitrogen nitrogen or carbon oxygen double bonds can involve, you can say that carbon triple bonds can involve. And there is also possibilities like we have systems here that are you say that are pronounced to be aromatic system, but they can undergo this Diels-Alder reaction. Like we know that this furan is said to be aromatic because 2 electron, that is the lone pair of electrons, it can involve in resonance, and then it makes furan an aromatic compound. So this furan can undergo, it acts as a diene, and it reacts with a dienophile to form a 6-membered ring. You can say that we have the product here. And the interesting thing is the stereochemistry of the substituents on diene or dienophile. They are maintained, or you can say that these are highly stereospecific reaction, because COCH3 or you can say acyl group here and CH3, they are cis to each other in the product. You can see that acyl and CH3, they are again cis to each other. And then we have an example here, another example that is anthracene. So in this case anthracene reacts with dienophile, and it gives us the middle ring, it undergoes reaction with dienophile, and we get 3-membered ring again, but there is another you can say that ring formation is seen here. But the interesting thing is that we get after, because there are two double bonds and one single bond involved from the diene part here, but another double bond is formed between and then it retains aromaticity of two rings. So in this case we say that we have another six member ring is formed here. If you compare these reactions with the reactions of benzene and naphthalene, but we see that furan and anthracene, they react to for the cyclo addition reactions, like here 4+2 cyclo addition reaction, but in comparison to them, benzene and naphthalene, they don't give this reaction. What does it mean? That it means that benzene and naphthalene are more stable, and their stability doesn't let them involve in these kind of reaction. So these are the like points you can extract from these examples for 4+2 cycloaddition reaction. When we shall go into the further details of 4+2 cycloaddition reaction, that you shall get a more insight into these reactions. Here is another cycloaddition reaction, that is 6+4 cycloaddition reaction. It also comes under the category of 4n+2 pi electronic system. We have an example here, that is the cycloaddition of cyclopentadiene, and also with the other coupling partner is tropone. That is you can say that this is a 7-member ring containing one carbon oxygen double bond, and it basically in this reaction you see that these two components react through supra interaction. That is, we have 6-component reaction here, and and the other component has 4 electrons, and these two components react together, and the formation this Diels-Alder, this is not a Diels-Alder reaction, rather the 6+4 cycloaddition reaction proceeds, and we only get here is the exo product. If we talk about I mean if we compare this reaction to Diels-Alder reaction or other cycloaddition reaction, then normally in such reaction we see that endo product is preferred normally, but in here we see exo product. So they are this like the formation of exo product as a major product instead of you can say that the only product instead of endo product is because of the like you can say the orbital approach. It is very it can be very clearly understood if we talk about the frontier molecular orbital approach. If you look at we have this transition state for exo product and endo product shown here. If you look at the transition state for exo product, you see that in case of exo product the orbital overlap is very precise, and it is happening like it is allowed through the frontier orbital method, or you can say the frontier molecular orbital approach. But if you see the transition state for endo product, then for the endo product, that is the 6s supra and 4s supra interaction, we see that these two, the first two orbitals, like the very next carbon, that is the 2 carbon and the 7 carbon, they are interacting very fine, but the other carbon that are labeled as 2 and 3, basically they are not the two. These are the I'm talking about the number 1 carbon and number 7 carbon of tropone. But when we talk about the carbon number 2 and carbon number 3 of cyclopentadiene, so in this case these 2 and 3 carbon atoms should they should overlap with the orbitals of these tropone molecule, but the interaction between these two is it is a repulsive interaction which is shown by the wavy lines here. So it means that frontier orbitals have a repulsive interaction between C3 and C4 on tropone and C2 on diene. Similarly, they between C5 and C6 on tropone and C3 of diene in endo transition state. So this basically repulsive secondary orbital interaction, it destabilizes the endo transition state, leading to complete selectivity of exo product here. This is how we get exo only product as a result of this 6+4 cycloaddition of tropone with cyclopentadiene. The next thing that we can observe in this reaction is that there is a possibility of 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction here too. In case of 4 plus 2 cycloaddition, what we say that cyclopentadiene, it acts as a 4 component, and the other, like we can take one carbon double bond between C2 and C3 of tropone to act as a dienophile. So in this case we say that 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction can take place. But actually why we say so it can take place, because this 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction and 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction, these two processes, they both are thermally allowed, because we know that 4n plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, they are thermally allowed if we talk about this kind of supra interactions, like they go through the we say that this kind of method is followed for thermally allowed reactions. But actually we don't get this 4 plus 2 cycloaddition, rather we get 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction only. So this, like this selectivity, that is the differentiation of 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction from 4 plus 2 cycloaddition, you can say the selective formation of only 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction addition products. So this kind of selectivity we call it as periselectivity. So you can if someone asks you that what is periselectivity, so you can say that if there are two processes that are both thermally allowed, or even these two processes, they are all symmetrically allowed too. So if they are both symmetrically allowed, they are thermally allowed, and everything is they follow all the rules we apply to them through which pericyclic reaction takes place. So they compete for the product, but in this case we say that only one product is formed. So this kind of selectivity we call it as periselectivity. So how we can explain this periselectivity? We say that it is also just like when we talk about exo and endo, we took help from frontier molecular orbital approach. So similarly, when we talk about this periselectivity thing, we say that how we can explain the fact that only 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction takes place. This is because of the reason that when we talk about frontier molecular approach, if you remember, then in molecular orbital method or FMO, we say that the molecular orbitals are basically of the product, they are basically the linear combination of atomic orbitals or the constituent orbitals. So in this case, when we carry out the mathematical operations, we say that the coefficient frontier molecular approach orbitals of lowest unoccupied molecular orbital of tropone, they are highest at C2 and C7. Basically when we carry out the addition, or you can say the mathematical operation, so as large as the these coefficients or the sum is large, then we say that that reaction is more you can say likely to happen. So it means that the end of conjugated system that have the largest coefficients in frontier orbitals and they follow the symmetry operation rules, we say that the pericyclic reaction takes place there. So it means that pericyclic reaction make use of longest part of such system. So in this case, if we talk about longest part of such system, that is that involves 6 carbons of tropone molecule. So that's how periselectivity takes place. Similarly, there is another example of dimerization of N-ethoxycarbonyl azepine on heating. Again here 6 plus 4 cycloaddition takes place. So in this case basically it's a 7-membered nitrogen containing ring, that's why we call it azepine. So we have ethoxycarbonyl group on nitrogen, that is the ester group is attached on nitrogen. So in this case we have 6 electronic system that is part of this heterocycle, and the other the other dying in component we take from the another molecule of this N-ethoxycarbonyl azepine compound. So these two molecules they react together under on heating, and again this reaction takes place through this pi 6s plus pi 4s components. Again supra interaction takes place, and this is 6 plus 4 cycloaddition reaction. So in this case again, when we talk about the orbitals approach together in the transition state, you can see that in this case we get this product after the cycloaddition, we have these two, this product here that can be written as in the other form. And here we have another cycloaddition reaction, that is 8 plus 2 cycloaddition, that falls in the category of 4n plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, because here again we have 10 electrons in total. So there are three basically examples we are considering to understand 8 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. The very first example we have is like this heterocyclic compound, we call it as indolizine. This indolizine reacts with the you can say that dienophile type of compound, and it undergoes thermally allowed 8 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. With this dienophile, you can say dimethyl acetylene dicarboxylate to give a cycloaddict. And this basically the one that is written in square brackets. This is why we have wrote it in like square brackets, because this is this intermediate, it forms in the reaction, and immediately we have a dehydrogenating catalyst in the reaction system. So it undergoes dehydrogenation to undergo aromatization. So first there are two hydrogens there, and then after dehydrogenation we get aromatic system here. So here we can see that again this is 8 plus 2 component reaction, that is pi 8s plus pi 2s. So this is supra interaction of 8 component pi system and the 2 component pi system. So we have this example that illustrates 8 plus 2 cycloaddition that is happening in real. There is another example here, and this type of, there are two compounds basically. The one is the same as we used in that is the dimethylacetylene dicarboxylate. This ester and the other compound is we have this compound, we call it as heptafulmine. Basically this compound is 7-methylene cyclohepta 135 triene. So this compound, because the common name is heptafulmine, so this heptafulmine reacts with the dienophile type of compound through 8 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction under thermal under heating, and then after heating we get this product. And if you see the electron movement, you can clearly understand that how we can get this compound, because the 2 carbon atom, that is a methylene attached to the 7-membered ring, it becomes part of the ring system, and then we have another cyclic ring form, that is the 5-membered ring is here. And then in the very next example we have a compound very similar to heptafulmine, that is 5,7-dimethylene cyclohepta 1,3-diene. It undergoes 8 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction with dimethyl diazine 1,2-dicarboxylate. Basically this is a diazine type of compound. So this compound gives us a bridged bicyclic adduct. So again we have this bicyclic compound through 8 plus 2 cycloaddition. The electrons movement are shown here, that is they go through the cyclic transition states, and then we get this product. That is the two products mentioned here, they are the same, and just the arrangement is mentioned so as for your convenience. So basically there are three examples for this 8 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, so that you can know that how these reactions go and how they can take place under thermal conditions. So now we come to the cycloaddition of ketynes and anions. Basically we have three examples here. The majority of them, these examples, they belong to the ketynic system. So in these examples where we have a conjugated system of allyl ketine which reacts with an that has a combination with the empty p orbital of simple carbocation. Just like you can say that when we talk about this kind of reaction, here we have 3 carbon skeleton, that is the allylic part, but it contributes 2 electron, and the other one we have is the diene that contributes 4 electrons. So overall basically there are maybe you can say that 7 carbons are involved in this reaction, but the electron count stays the same, that it is 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. So in these three examples of 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction, we are considering the ketynic cycloaddition reaction. So what happens in these reactions, that is the conjugated system of allyl ketine contracts to the unconjugated empty p orbital of simple carbocation. So when we say about this thing, then we have to consider one thing that is common in these three reactions. Maybe we shall talk about these reaction first, that how this reaction go on. Just like when we talk about like we have a heterocyclic ring and there is a 6-membered ring attached to it. So after the during the like the intermediate involved in this reaction, that is cationic here. So what happens in this case, that is the three carbon skeleton, that is the cationic carbon and the carbon carbon double bond, it interacts with diene, and then we get this product as a after cycloaddition reaction. But what is different, but what is important in this reaction is that after the cycloaddition reaction, the electronic, that is the deficiency, it was like counterbalanced by the lone pair of nitrogen. Basically this lone pair of nitrogen, it is not involved in the cycloaddition reaction, but rather it is involved to the for the stabilization of the intermediate here. So after the stabilization of intermediate, we get the product, that is you can say the Schiff base here. So what are Schiff bases? Basically these are the product of carbonyl compounds and you can say amine type of compound. So this carbon nitrogen double bond, it can be easily hydrolyzed under reaction conditions. So after the like hydrolysis, we get this carbon oxygen double bond here, where there was nitrogen at first. Anyways, the notable thing in here was the cycloaddition reaction of this cationic intermediate. The next example is the like we have this dibromo compound, we have a like carbonyl group here, and after like the intermediate involved here is this you can say we have this carbonyl group here and the very next carbon, that is the alpha carbon, it has we say it, this is cationic here. So these the three carbon skeleton, that is the carbon carbon double bond and the cationic carbon, it is involved in a cycloaddition reaction with the furan ring. So after the cycloaddition reaction, again the notable thing is that oxygen, this negative charge on oxygen are the like this oxide, basically it is not involved in cycloaddition reaction, rather what it does is to stabilize the cationic part here. So this oxygen atom, it donates its electrons to the carbon, and then the electron movement takes place for the pericyclic reaction, and then we have like product here, that is the 5-membered ring of furan. Then we have another ring, that is the 6-membered ring is formed, and the stereochemistry of the product, that is maintained, like stereochemistry of reactants is maintained in the product. And we have the mixture of product here, like there is 48% of product that has one geometry, and the 5% of other has the other geometry. Basically we say about these reaction, that is in diene and dienophile, we say that they must be in S6 conformation for pericyclic cycloaddition to take place. But allylic, like allyl cations, unlike most dienophile, they are very reactive intermediates. So they really they don't survive long enough to meet a diene in the S conformation because they are very reactive. So they react even before they met the exact conformation. So what we say that open chain dienes are therefore apt to give low yield, as in the formation of this bicyclic ketone. And the other example, the last example we have is the trimethyl silyl type of compound. In this compound we get this intermediate where we have an allylic system again, it reacts with cyclopentadiene, and then we get this cycloaddition product. In there we get another like 6-membered ring is formed. Again this silyl part, it acts as a leaving group, and it leaves and accommodates the like positive charge here, and then we get this double bond here, and the product is formed in almost 48% yields. So these are the reference books that I have consulted for this lecture. So you can go through them and then see if they can be a help to you. For this reaction, that is the this 8+2 cyclidation reaction. Basically the errors are mentioned here, how electron movement is going on. You have to predict the product, and it's best if you can write a transition state for this transformation. So basically you have to explain the mechanism of this transformation.